In a roundtable event hosted by Second Gentleman Douglas Emhoff on Wednesday, the White House and Jewish American community leaders are set to discuss the startling rise in anti-Semitism across the United States and around the world. This as hate crimes and attacks on Jews rising to rarely before seen numbers in recent years. The ADL, for one, saying that last year saw the largest number of anti-Semitic incidents, including murder, physical assaults, harassment, and vandalism, since recording began 40 years ago. Similarly, the NYPD reporting a 125% increase in anti-Semitically motivated crimes over the past year, with some 45 reported crimes in New York City in November alone. By comparison, over the same time period, only 18 other incidents were recorded in New York City against all other target groups combined. Arriving in the UAE from his historic meeting in Bahrain, Israeli President Herzog holding talks with Emirati President Sheikh Mohammed Al Nahyan. And in a similar message to his Bahraini hosts, Herzog telling the Emiratis that there is broad support for the Abraham Accords in Israel and that there is room for their expansion to include more Arab countries. Meantime, the timing of Herzog's visit allowing him to take part in the Abu Dhabi space debate underway in the UAE's capital. Herzog praising recent developments in space cooperation between Israel and the UAE, and with this, Herzog returning home to Israel with his historic first-of-its-kind trip to the Arab Gulf behind him. 2.5 months after the outbreak of the so-called hijab protests in Iran, the Ayatollah regime reportedly deciding to scrap its so-called morality police, whose brutal tactics resulted in the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini and sparked the protests to begin with. Protesters skeptical about the regime's real intentions, however, as Iran's government not yet confirming that the force has been shut down. Further, Iran's Attorney General indicating that while head-covering laws would be examined, they may not be abolished, and the morality police's duties may just be carried out by another body. In any case, too little too late with the protests having evolved into an outright call for regime change. That said, Israeli officials saying that the protesters have a long uphill battle to wage. IDF intelligence explaining that while Iran's regime will likely eventually fall, Tehran has mechanisms in place to withstand such protests for years to come.